Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Today, I want to talk about the number one mistake people make when they hear from their ex. I've recently been getting a lot of emails where people have done this. I've seen comments underneath my videos on YouTube, and you got to stop it, because even if you get your ex back, it's not going to be a good relationship. You cannot make this mistake. But before I tell you what it is, I want to remind you to be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And while you're at it, tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when a new video is up. So I'm going to start with a comment, and we will go from there. So she says, no contact worked. It literally took 7 months, but it was worth it. I was so scared we would never speak again, but he contacted me after 7 months and we spoke for an hour about how much we miss each other. That's a bad move. This person broke up with you. They contact you. You're not even sure if they want to get back together. You're not sure why they're contacting you. And now you're going to tell them that you miss them? You've been doing no contact, which was great. She did 7 months of no contact. And now you just drop the facade, you drop the mask immediately, just because they say they miss you. It's like, oh, I miss you too. Anyways, continuing on. He's flying me to New York in a few weeks to hang out. We were long distance. Just posting this to encourage everyone to stick with it. It's really hard. I thought about him every day for those 7 months, but it worked. I think it really rose his respect/value for me, and he admitted to watching everything on my social media and thinking about me, missing me constantly. I can't wait to see him in a few weeks. So this all sounds good, right? You're like, all right, it's a success story. They're back on. Yeah, no. She later commented that he wasn't, after they got together in New York, he stopped responding to her texts. So first of all, one mistake is that she's texting him. And she said texts. So she double texted and triple texted. Another bad mistake. Obviously, he didn't want to get back together. Or maybe he did, and then when he saw her again, he was like, yeah, no. But she made it way too easy on him. And this is the number one mistake that people make when they hear from their ex. They make it way, way, way too easy on them to come back. You should not be telling them that you miss them the first time you speak with them. You need to hear what they have to say, and they need to show through their actions over a period of time, not just one time, not just over one day, over one night, over one phone call, over one trip, that they want you back. Because they may have just been missing you temporarily, which may be what happened here, especially since she didn't contact him for 7 months. She's right. His interest level went up, and so he thought he wanted her back. And she made it super easy. Maybe they just want your attention or affection at that moment, but they have no intention of getting back together. So you guys need to stop making it easy for people to come back. You need to start asking some hard questions when they say they want to come back, or when they start behaving that way, because they're not always going to say, hey, let's get back together. They might just start calling and texting, wanting to see you. And so at some point, you need to ask them some hard questions, and they better have some damn good answers. And those questions are, why do they want to get back together? Especially since they broke up with you. It's like, well, why do you want me now? Why you should get back with them, why they changed their mind, what is going to be different, why you should trust them, that they won't break up with you again, because you know what? If someone is capable of breaking up with you once, then they're probably capable of breaking up with you twice, unless you make it so difficult for them to come back that they think twice before breaking up with you again. And most importantly, something that most people don't do because they're just so happy to be back together, you have to say, how are they going to make it up to you? There have to be consequences. They can't just think that they can just leave and come back without any consequences, because they will lose respect for you if you just take them back just like that. You cannot have love without respect. It's like a child that misbehaves and there's no consequences. You're going to create a little monster. That child is going to think that they can do anything. Hey, I can throw food around. I can paint on the wall with crayons. Who cares? There's no consequences. Woohoo, live it up. Remember, they broke up with you. That's a serious offense. In the world of dating, that's almost like a murder. Almost, not quite. All right? They kicked you out of their life. They showed you through their actions that you're no longer valuable to them, because they're not usually going to say, hey, you're no longer valuable to me, so get out. There have to be consequences for breaking up with you. Stop letting people come back so easily just because of your high interest level, just because you're so desperate to have them back, and you'll do anything to get them back. It's like, no, not so fast there, cowboy. Before you come back, we need to have a little talk. And they better show you consistently over time, not just over a weekend trip to New York, that they want you back and that they regret their decision. And you should not be contacting them. Because I see often what happens is people start talking again, and then the dumpee starts contacting the dumper right away, and they go, he never called me back. He said we were going to see each other. I never heard from him. Well, why are you texting him? He needs to show you over time that he's serious about getting back together. You shouldn't be texting him if you didn't hear from him. They have to do 100% of the work to get back together with you, not 50%. Stop doing their job for them because you're so desperate to have them back. Because what are you going to have back? Someone who doesn't respect you because you took them back so easily. So you're going to find yourself in a relationship that is not going to be good, and it's going to be your fault because you made it so easy for someone who discarded you to come back. Let me read another comment here from someone else. Okay, he goes, she contacted me after 2 weeks of no contact and said, you don't have to respond, but I just want to say hi and see how you're doing, with a heart emoji. I didn't respond. Good. 3 days later, she texted me, you didn't have to respond, but you could have. So people say things that they don't mean. If they know that if they say to you, hey, you don't have to respond, that will make you more likely to respond. But then when you don't respond, they're like, well, you could have responded. Well, make up your mind. So he didn't respond to that. Good. Then she texted me, let's get together and have a beer. And I did. Big mistake. We hugged and kissed for 2 hours in a bar. Haha. Told each other how much we loved each other. There you go. There you go. What are you doing? This is not what should be happening in the first meeting when you get together with your ex. You should be a lot more reserved. You shouldn't be hugging and kissing for 2 hours and saying, I love you. I love you too. It doesn't matter if you broke up with me. I still love you. He continues, then out of the blue, and here comes the kicker, she said, I'll never trust you again. I walked to her car, said my goodbyes, and told her not to contact me again, and she did today. So she says one thing but means another. But again, same thing. Just way too easy to come back. And this reminds me actually of another comment that I saw where the ex contacted someone, and they were on the phone for 4 hours. Really? 4 hours? Who has 4 hours to spend on the phone? I don't know. I don't. Nothing says I don't have a life than being on the phone for 4 hours, especially someone who dumped you. Someone who dumped you, they're going to have to earn time with you again. You don't give them 4 hours. I'm not even thrilled about the fact that the first comment I read, she gave him an hour. That's a lot of time. No. You get maybe half an hour and say what you need to in that time and then go from there. But you guys, you got to stop making it so easy for people to come back. They're not going to respect you. You want to have love? Then you have to have respect from the person you're with. So if you are going through a breakup and you need some help with that, with the no contact, or what to say when your ex contacts you, how to respond, how to behave the first time you meet up, then you can contact me about a private coaching session. And there, the direct link is below. It is theartoflove.net, where you can also sign up for my free newsletter. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate it if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.